for joining me. This is Personal Battles, and I'm live out in the wilderness following three dads walking. I'm following Mike, wow, who's walking through my little town of Chelsea Street, where there's a swan called Colin just down there. These guys are raising so much money for charity. They're featured on loads of TV channels. They've got an appointment this afternoon with BBC Look North or North East News. But now I have managed to grab his attention for 10 minutes or so.
Yes.
Quick interview on this podcast. You're like famous, Mike. So first of all, what I like to do on this show is each guest has a question for the next guest. It's an ice break.
Okay.
Just to get conversation started, because I find sometimes asking somebody, are they okay?
Yeah.
They'll just say, yeah, and finish the conversation.
Okay.
But sometimes I find it a little quirky question starts making people think. So this question comes from last week's battle guest.
Yeah.
And it is,
what song, if you're in a situation where you were forced to recite the full lyrics to a song, I don't know, to win £1 million or to save something, you know, you have to start to finish all the lyrics to a song, what song would it be?
Well, basically, no.
no,
But there are songs that I could probably
get close to.
be close to.
What's the closest song you think you can go?
You better not test me. No,
I'm not going to test you, I'm just going to say.
But maybe Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven.
Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah,
Nice
yeah.
one, a bit of Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Right, so moving on to the main part of the show now, I always focus on people's stories, their battles, how they fell on the battlefield, and more importantly, how they got back up. But I think it's best for this one if you just explain, Mike, a little bit about who are Three Dads Walking and why are you doing this?
Three Dads Walking we are three fathers who've been bereaved by suicide. We all lost a daughter. I lost my daughter Beth in March 2020. Tim lost his daughter Emily also in March 2020, and Andy lost his daughter Sophie about 14 months before we lost our girls. So we, by fate, ended up together. We all come from different parts of the country. Andy comes from basically up in Lake District in Penrith, near Penrith. I lived in Manchester, and Tim lives out in Norfolk.
Right.
So
how did you guys get talking?
basically it was due to surviving children. And first of all, I started talking to Tim about 3 weeks after I lost Beth, because he lost his Emily 5 days before us. And one of Tim's surviving daughters, Annabelle, saw an article on my Beth. My Beth was a bit of a larger-than-life character. She was just 17, but she was trained to be a vocal artist, dance. She had a wicked sense of humour. She was born to be on stage.
Yeah.
And she was, she was very popular in our town of Sale. And basically articles were being written about her. The tragedy of her taking her own life, because she was the last person in the world you'd ever expect to do that. But 3 weeks after lost Beth, we were contacted by a family in Norfolk, and I ended up talking to their daughter Annabelle, and she said, "Would you like to talk to my dad?" And that was Tim.
Right.
So basically, in 3 weeks after losing Beth, I've basically probably spoken to Tim about every week, if not more, since then.
Right.
But I started doing things for a wonderful charity called PAYRUS, Prevention of Young Suicide.
Yeah.
And through them, I heard of a guy called Andy Airy, who lost Sophie 14 months before we lost our girls. And I'd already started forming a bit of an idea in my head to walk between my house and Tim's house to illustrate that suicide is the biggest killer of under 35s in the UK. So I actually bumped into Andy's son Gregor at one of the PAYRUS meetings, a champions meeting, and I thought, I'll ask Gregor. I said, would your dad be interested in this?
Right.
Extending the walk, basically. So Penrith, Manchester, out to near Kingsland in Norfolk, and he said, "I don't know, ask him." So I ended up calling Andy, meeting Andy, taking a rough map up there, drawn on a 2010 road atlas, and he sort of grunted, as he does, being a Cumbrian.
It's a grunter.
Yeah. And basically, yeah, that could work. And a couple of weeks later, we had like 18 OS maps came through our doors, donated by OS Maps, and basically we started planning. And by that time, we hadn't really met face to face. We'd only met.
Right.
Yeah, we'd only met on online.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was Three Dads Walking was going to be born.
And it was last year you did the big walk. Was that last year when you raised over $1 million?
No. Last year we didn't walk. 2022 we did 600 miles between the UK capitals.
Right.
The year before that was 300 miles between our homes. So this is our third walk now.
Right.
So this is 500 miles. Sterling to Norwich.
Sterling to Norwich.
Yes.
How many days?
Roughly 3.5 weeks, so 25 days.
Is there any parts of the journey you're looking forward to, Mike? Or the ones behind you? Or?
Well, you know I'm going to say the end.
That was a great thing.
They're extraordinary experiences. Suicide, mental health issues affects most people's lives.
Yeah.
And sadly, we walk and we listen to too many stories from bereaved parents, and yeah, it is absolutely heartbreaking. But it gives us, it validates what we do. You know, our first walk, we just wanted to raise £3,000 each for PAYRUS, and that was basically it. We didn't know what to expect, but we learned so much on the first walk as well, that basically we stepped over the line in the village of Sholdham in Norfolk, and everyone says, how's it feel when you finish? We knew we hadn't finished, but we knew that we, you know, yeah, that's 100%.
Yeah.
And we knew that we have to invest in our young people. We have to get right upstream with, you know, suicide prevention and good life skills as well. Young people's greatest danger themselves is themselves, that's a suicide.
Yeah.
We need to tell them about it.
Yeah,
we need to equip them, you know, and then we need to underpin it with basically good life skills to help them to build a resilience and help you thrive.
Yeah. It's reading all your stories there. They're all some really popular. So much to give. So loving. It's so popular and had so much to give to the world. It's almost like they were the only one to be realising it.
Yes.
And that's the sad thing. It's like I've been there as well, where I just feel absolutely worthless. What is the point? It takes a moment to step back and realise you're surrounded by loved ones, but you get blinking at times, and depression tries to pull you in.
Yes. The most powerful stories we hear, those who have been in crisis, on many occasions tried to take their own life, but now living lives they want to.
Yeah.
So I've heard this two, 3 times, just on this walk. I've heard it before. People say, I'm happy now. You know, I'm happy. And isn't that hope?
Yeah.
You know, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, so it's getting through that despair.
Oh, sorry, you can go. You can jump back in.
At one moment.
Yeah, right.
These are the Roy Club ladies that we can't go and have cake. Ready? Yeah. So Mike's been saying all day, Roy Club. And now he's got it. He's going, no, podcast.
Yeah.
Wow. The amazing people stopping their talk and sharing their stories.
Yes, yeah, well, that's a friend of mine, basically, who's a rower in rows for H-Croft in Salford, but they have connection to this rowing club. Come out. It's wonderful. Yeah, so no one knows what that is, do they?
But like I said, I saw as well on your website, like the lovely line you said about Beth, and I was like, oh wow, it was like, if you knew when she was 4, then you could have bought her. Is that the line?
Say again, sorry.
There's a line that you said about Beth. So if only I knew she was falling out, we would have caught her.
Yeah. There's hindsight, isn't there?
Yeah.
Bethy was last
Was
person.
there any signs?
Well, this is it. At the time, I didn't see anything. Hindsight, yes,
Right.
there was. There was a few things she said, and some behaviour maybe become a little erratic. But Beth was very much a performer. But basically, lockdown was coming. She could see her. She couldn't finish college. She with her friends. She couldn't. Gigs were being cancelled to say she was training to be a vocal artist. She could see her birthday being cancelled because of lockdown as well already. She was on holiday with her friends. Again, that's cancelled. Just too much. I think her bucket just filled up. So I would lay down my life for her. She's that girl who used to ride on my shoulders. She's my youngest daughter. I love that little girl so much. I still do. And I miss her incredibly. Of course I would have caught her. If we'd known. But this is where awareness comes in, isn't it?
Yeah.
If Beth had been aware of what was going on with her
She would
herself,
have been
she would have done something. If I'd been more aware as well, maybe she said, I'm having a bad day, maybe saying, rather than saying, come on Beth, let's go and do this. What's up, Beth? Talk to them.
It's a different way, yeah.
Well, it's difficult with teenagers as well, because they don't always...
Exactly. They don't open up, do they?
No, they don't want to open up. I'm not trying to keep the conversation open, but it's still incredibly hard, and it never won't be.
You're helping with the money and the charity that you're raising and the awareness.
Yeah, well, we hope so.
Yeah, you're making a difference, aren't you?
The fact is that after Beth, it plunged me into a suicidal spiral. But after losing my little girl, I was smashed
That must
into...
just change your personality, does it? Everything
Changed my
changed.
personality. Smashed me to pieces. And it's about, when you talk about what you're doing now, I had to totally reset.
Yeah.
And first of all, I started to focus on my family, because I realised that their life would be so much worse. Their life would be so difficult if I wasn't in it as well. So I refocused on them. I do what I can to look after them, because this is the ripple effect, isn't it?
Yeah.
Her sisters, Nana and Grandad,
Yeah.
her cousins.
Everyone's
myself,
affected.
Bethy's mum, and her friends as well. They were, the hurt that they feel and the grief is just absolutely incredible. But also meeting Andy and Tim and doing Three Dads Walking stuff, it very much gives me a point as well.
Right.
To drives me on.
It drives you on as well, that motivation, yeah.
Hi ladies!
Thanks for sharing the story there, why you're walking, your story about Beth, and what's helping you guys move forward, and raising so much awareness and doing so many good things. So I'll just want to say thank you for being on the podcast, Mike. I was unfortunate I couldn't get the other two guys, but I know you're really busy, tight schedules and all that, and Andy seems to be in the zone.
Andy is in the zone, yes, he's leading the way, but it'd be a pleasure to do all three of us in the future.
That would be amazing if I get all three of you at some point in the future. Because I say, I'll put myself down so much and think, I wouldn't even be able to grab a moment of your guys' time. Why would they want to talk to me for? But thank you so much, Mike.
You're doing amazing stuff yourself. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's important work. People here. Well, it's lived experience, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's about, it's about getting through these times sometimes. However you can.
Yeah.
Giving yourself a chance, giving your family and friends a chance, and things change.
They do change, yeah.
Yes, they do.
And suddenly you realise, when you're in the darkness of it, that dark pit, you think, well, from the outside, why would you want to stop you don't know what's around the corner, but at the time it's so painful, you don't want to carry on. But when people say, well, everything can change in a week, 6 months, a year.
Yeah,
but then when you do it, you realise, well, your life can be so different. It won't always be like that.
And talking's so important as well.
Talking just saves lives, isn't it?
You know, we're 3 bereaved dads.
Yeah.
However, we walk, talk and laugh, and that's hugely important as well.
Yeah, or the laughter as well, yeah?
Laughter enables people to talk.
Yep.
And that's, it's the power of laughter, eh?
Yep. Keep that laughter in your heart. That's what I always keep saying.
That's it.
People say they admire my honesty. I can talk about how I'm feeling all the time. There's no pretend with me, and I try and make people laugh as well, because something's a welcome me dark place, then let's just spread some light now and again.
Yes.
A bit of a joke.
100%.
A little dad joke, even if it's terrible. Doesn't matter.
I've got plenty of dad jokes. Yes.
What's your favourite dad joke?
Huh?
You got one now?
Well,
I've got one. Why did the duck sink?
why did the duck sink?
Yeah.
Why did the duck sink?
Because of the crack in it. That's great, that, mate.
I've suddenly become very tired. Ow.
Okay, we'll leave it there then.
I've probably got loads of dad jokes. The problem is, I've got no memory at the moment.
Yeah, I know.
Whether it's failing me or not, I don't know. But
It must be tough with all these miles under your legs and keep going. And you just walk in the country. I mean,
that's it.
it's not much.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Have you got lost yet?
Don't really get lost.
No.
Occasionally you walk past a turn off, but that's due to you to talking.
Right.
You know, getting into conversation with people.
No major incidents then, no one's fallen over or potential sprains?
No, we first of all, Candy had a terrible blister, and that's in the book, so we have got our book out as well.
Oh, right.
Check
Check it out.
Three dogs walking.
I'll put a link on that.
Yeah,
on our socials.
300 miles of hope. But
Right.
we hope the book as well. It tells the story of our first walk.
Uh-huh.
We actually kept a log on the way. But it's a walking book.
Okay.
It's about the people we met.
Yeah,
And
along the
their
way.
stories are so important as well, because even carrying on after suicide, it's very, very hard. You know, but we met some parents who have only just been bereaved, and that's so hard. But we've seen them now, but their lives aren't, you know, they'll never be the same again. But the resilience they're showing, because lots of them want to make a difference.
Right.
The people that set up their own, you know, charities, foundations, in their beloved kids' names.
Uh-huh.
You know, and it's amazing people, and we're still friends with a lot of these people as well.
Right.
They still join us on our walks now.
Right.
You know, so yeah. But they would say, yeah, it's. But also, it's an account about the girls as well. You know, we're hoping it carries a message of hope too.
Yeah. And that's a great way to end this podcast by.
You know.
So all I say now is, have you got an icebreaker question for the next person? I know I'm throwing you on the spot here. Or have you got a question that just anyone can answer, but just gets them thinking a little bit?
You had a conversation with them, and you were worried about them, and indeed worried about them taking their own life. What would you do? What would your first action be with that person?
Wow. What would your first action be, mate?
Well, basically, first it'd be to ask them, you know, are you thinking of taking your own life? Are you thinking of suicide?
Right.
The second action would probably be to ring Hope Line 247, because I'm not qualified.
Yeah.
You know, but it's about starting the process of keeping them safe, so it gives them a chance to basically live.
So much for saying do this for me.
No,
And giving me the time.
Absolute pleasure. Yeah, you're another person on our journey, but you're doing good by doing. Because so many people listen to podcasts now.
Yeah.
And
I realise how much it can help.
oh yeah,
And I meet people who were talking to me around the world saying, I was listening to you, I was walking down a road in Canada. You were listening to my voice in your ears voluntarily. I've been rambling on Jesse Street.
But you're not rambling on.
It's like,
you
wow.
know, you're very personable, and you know, I'm sure people will listen.
They will, they do.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
blowing my mind. So there's much more to this than just walking. Logistics,
I mean,
coordinates.
you know, but there's journals to do, social media.
Yeah.
It's a huge animal. All I want to do is go to bed.
You're not allowed to.
Yeah, no. Yeah, but often someone's
Walk's
got
finished. Can I go to
a
sleep?
huge
No.
meal as well before this for you. Kind of people, farmers, and they.
Oh no, farmers really going for that.
Oh, really going for
Huge
it.
spreads.
Oh yes, we used to know the animals are on the table and things. But, no, but just absolute kindness.
Yeah.
But you know, suicide in the rural communities, just think isolation and stuff. So sadly, a lot of them know people taking their own lives. Yeah,
It's
very,
crazy, isn't it? How much this resonates with so many people. Is it, why isn't it a bigger thing within the government? Because everyone has been affected by it.
the point is, I lived in total ignorance of suicide before I lost Beth, because I didn't need to know about suicide or suicide prevention, because I'd never lose a child to suicide. Yet I did.
Yeah.
And I think that's, you know, it's quite an unsavoury, almost word, suicide, isn't it? It conjures up all kinds of images and things, and people just don't know that. I don't want that in my house. I don't want to talk about.
It's like so taboo, isn't it?
Yeah, but often people realise they have to address it because they're going to lose a loved one if they don't.
Yeah.
You know, the pressure that people are under now, a lot of it does come from social media and the internet. 24/7.
Oh, Mike, I used to think, like, I used to get bullied at school and think, for me, my saviour was a Friday evening when I got home. I was safe for the weekend.
Yes.
But now I'm thinking, but the kids now, they can't get away. Bullies can be getting that, in bedrooms or sorts. Parents would never know.
Sometimes it's not bullying, as in kick your head in. It's like you're not included in groups and things.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder. Beth was very strong. She was a strong character. I probably won't mess with her, to be quite honest. But I think maybe her friends weren't getting back to her that evening.
Right.
And because of that, she felt alone.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't think it was direct bullying at all. But I think she felt let down. But it's up, you go into your bedroom, and basically you've got your phone, you can be got at, but also if you are suicidal, punch suicide into your search engine, and then you've got, you know, your dark web.
Yeah.
They'll encourage you to take your own life.
Yeah.
You know, self-violent fathers who, you know, their kids have used these sites and said, father even took the package the kid from Ukraine, his daughter used to kill herself. He took the delivery, not knowing. And this is why we don't tell our, you know, I should have said it there, but we don't tell our kids in school where it's safe. We don't equip them with the knowledge around these things. They'll Google stuff.
Yeah.
And it's out of
The
control.
information's there, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you just punch porn into your phone now,
Yeah.
I don't know whether you do anyway.
Oh, no.
No, but the point is, you just put porn and it will come up with images. But basically, it's hard porn.
Yeah.
And you can just do that without any filter.
Yeah.
There you are. And it's running out of control. You know, and to say, parents just say, you know, go upstairs, you know the kids are on the phone all night, and the influence is, a lot of it's so negative and horrible. You know, it's scary. It's scary. You know, just kids should be happy when they're young. That's it. That's it. If you were bullied, you know, I had issues in school. Probably, you know, I've never been diagnosed dyscalculia or being dyslexic. I think I am, and that's slowed me down in some cases. You know, made me feel uncomfortable, getting detentions, and the schools are there to equip our young people for life so they can thrive. And sometimes we need to put the academic qualifications to one side, concentrate on the core of making, you know, young people. Because they can't use qualifications if they're basically not resilient, not happy.
I remember being 9 or 10 at primary school, and it was break time, and I was in the boys' toilets, and I'd been there all break time. And when I came out, the teacher would look at me and go, almost like a dirty boy, what are you hanging on in there for? You're like, now as an adult, you look back and go, there's a child hiding, doesn't want to go outside, he's scared. And again, it's like, well, why was that picked up? I couldn't see at the time, I didn't know. I was just, everything was terrifying, I just wanted to get back home.
It's being kind to people as well. You know, that is a basic thing.
Just kindness,
being
I know.
Kindness.
Where's that gone?
Yes, I know. I mean, bullying's always been there, you know, but that's maybe it's part of life skills, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, what happens if you bully someone, basically being accepting and kind. You know, I've done a lot of this in the fire service as well. Yeah, basically. But it wasn't always I'm going to keep heading. Right. Well, it wasn't that. But sometimes it was whispering behind your back, and not me, you know, but I saw it happen. And kindness.
That's what it's all about. Kindness. We all need to be a little bit kind.
Yeah.